You banged her to death with your giant penis.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 43 of the Moose Knuckle podcast. Today, it's going to be your host, Luke, and the co-host, Hunter. We kind of lost everyone else somewhere in the ether. I don't know what happened, but we're trying something new today. Hunter, go ahead and tell them what we're up to.
So today, hopefully, if this works out successfully. Sorry, I hear some weird high pitching in the background. I hope that's not recording. But we're trying to record over the internet. So hopefully it works out. I see little lines jumping up and down like it's being recorded. We did a little testing, so hopefully it works out well. If not, we'll keep trying, I guess.
Yeah, life has drawn us apart. Actually, we used to all be in the same building. Now one of us is in a different state, and then everybody else is in different buildings now. Actually,
in theory, Steve and Devin did agree that they would try to do this with us, and so in theory, at some point all of us should be on, or different combinations, kind of like always.
Yeah, hopefully we can get the old gang back together. But
I was thinking too, one good thing too is we could all just get royally hammered.
This is true. There is no driving.
Exactly. So no one has to worry about that.
That's a very good point.
But sorry, I interrupted you there.
Oh no, it's fine. It's what happens.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm back after a bit of a hiatus. Had a lot going on. I've got a small child that is not so small anymore. I mean, he's just turned 1 year old a couple months ago, and he's already the size of a 2-year-old.
I didn't say size of a 5-year-old.
No, not quite. He is very large though. He's already like 34 inches tall or something. It's kind of ridiculous.
So that's like a little over 2.5 feet, right?
It's almost 3 feet. It's 2 inches under 3 feet.
Oh yeah, 36. I can do math.
Yay! And I've been working a shitload of overtime lately. Actually, I just checked recently, and I'm up to nearly 500 hours of OT this year.
Holy shit, dude!
So yeah, that's where I've been. So it's not that I hate everyone that listens to us, all 10 of you. As a matter of fact, I greatly appreciate your time, and you're pretty cool too. It's just I've been busy with the real life. It's so hard.
That was one thing we talked about, like, on the other podcast before Steve and Devin got drunk, was the random, like, odd spurts of downloads. Like, somebody's listening to it still.
Oh, okay.
Like, they're like, oh, I forgot. And then they download, like, 3 of them or something. I'm like, that's weird, but sweet.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, however you want to listen to it. If you don't want to listen to 70 episodes and then just marathon this shit like it's some sort of, I don't know, True Detective or something, go for it. More power to you.
Well, I guess we could talk about that then real quick. Did you watch the new one?
No, I don't actually watch True Detective or pretty much anything on HBO. I don't really watch TV, except for Disney Junior. There is a police siren going on in the background. I actually happen to live probably like 500 yards away from a fire station and a police station. So, yeah, sirens happen a lot. So if you hear that, I'm sorry. But really, the only thing that we've had on TV recently in our house is pretty much just Disney Junior.
Oh, for the kiddo?
Yeah. And occasionally some Cartoon Network or some Disney XD. But realistically, Disney XD and Cartoon Network were all I watched beforehand. So
Is that right?
Yeah, that's fine. It doesn't bother me any.
So you were getting, like, drunk watching, like, old reruns of Gargoyles or something?
No, that'd be on, like, Boomerang. No, I was watching, like, Gravity Falls and stuff. Gravity Falls is a really good show.
I don't even know what that is.
Or the new Teen Titans Go or Amazing World Gumball. Shout out to Cartoon Network making some awesome programming.
I'm sure they're never going to sponsor us once they listen to one podcast.
I don't know, dude. There is Adult Swim. We might get sponsored by Adult Swim.
That's true.
So, you never know. Not that we'll ever get sponsored. End of sentence.
You never know, man. It's super weird. Only because I have so there's like a few different things I sign up for, like kind of podcast wise, where they'll like email me something about something, you know, just related to it. Like sometimes it's like kind of a festival or something like that. But one of them was actually like, it's somebody looking for new sponsors, and they were like, but the lowest sponsor they had was like, oh, if you have 30,000 listeners. I was like, wow,
Jesus Christ,
we're not even close to that. But
if you're somewhat relevant somewhere, somehow, then we'll sponsor you. Otherwise, go fuck yourself.
But the weird part too was like, so on one podcast I was listening to, they were talking about the Joe Rogan podcast, or maybe, no, I think it was Mark Maron was talking about it, and he was saying like, so Anderson Cooper, like a good night for him, like, or not good, like an average night, he gets like 100,000 viewers, you know? But then in a month, Joe Rogan gets like 11 million downloads.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of people listening to his shitty opinions about things.
Yeah, but they were essentially pointing out like eventually like it's gonna have to be like better sponsorship, because it's like, because you're reaching way more people than 100,000, like.
Yeah.
And most people they say into for the older or for the news is usually older demographic, at least 50s and older, you know, most of the time.
Well, I mean, it's also just a changing of how people around the world consume media, and a lot of marketing firms are slow to catch up on it. You see, like, some of the most successful ones are like Old Spice. Old Spice is great about how they do things now, modern age. Like, they do stuff on, and I'm going to say it wrong, but I say it this way anyway, on Imgur. Fucking people on the internet don't know how to pronounce things. But the whole advertising campaign they've had on there has just been absolutely brilliant. They've captured the exact essence of that entire community and are giving them content that they know it's an advertisement, but they love the shit out of it anyway because it's exactly what they're looking for.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of places that's just not the case. Like, actually, what's kind of the whole evolution to the new content, what really has actually kind of pissed me off recently is, I don't know if you saw, but Jimmy Kimmel basically had like 3 straight episodes where he did nothing but rag on popular YouTubers.
No, I watch clips of his show. Did he do this? Like, I didn't watch anything from this past week, so if he did it
no, it was like 2 months ago actually. He basically was ragging on, like, you know what Let's Plays are, right?
Let's Play? I think so.
So Let's Plays are where somebody will play through a game and then they'll upload it on YouTube, and like then people will watch them playing through it.
It's their version of Twitch.
Yeah, well, Twitch is basically Let's Plays, like, but it's just live streaming.
Right.
So
I got it.
Let's Plays are super popular. The biggest subscription hits on YouTube are people doing Let's Plays and things of that nature, like Markiplier, PewDiePie.
What PewDiePie does. And he makes like I think they said like 11 million a year or something from it.
I doubt he makes that much, but he's definitely a millionaire. Like, I think it's more in the realm of like 3 to 4 million a year, but he's definitely making a shitload of money for what he does. And Jimmy Kimmel just ended up ragging on, like, calling people stupid for doing this kind of shit.
I know what you're going to talk about. And he had that one Asian chick and that other dude on.
He had, I can't remember the chick's name, but he had Markiplier on as well. And just kind of talked him through. But it was specifically, what it kind of strikes me as is it's the older TV, basically, the standard of TV and movies, kind of trying to attack this new era of entertainment that's coming down the line and belittle it and make it ridiculous. And it strikes me as kind of, well, it definitely just strikes me as disrespectful, but I mean, I really can't expect them to respect other things. It just strikes me as also kind of afraid. Like, they realize that their numbers are dwindling, and they're doing what they can to appeal to their core group to make sure that they stay watching and don't go watch these stupid YouTubers play them stupid video games.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. That's a pretty common practice. Like, newspapers said radio was gonna essentially make people dumber, and then they said that about TV. And then, of course, they're saying that about the internet, like,
Yeah.
got this quality programming on here, young man. Why would you check out the internet?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. It was pretty obvious how they were going about it because it elicited a very angry response from the internet. Because there's one thing the internet is, it's angry.
Oh, yeah.
And so he picked and chose the worst comments, obviously, wishing him death or some kind of terrible disease, as opposed to anyone presenting any kind of reasonable argument. So the narrative was extremely one-sided, which it's always going to be.
Yeah.
I don't know, it really bothered me.
It is kind of weird if you think about it, because you think about also, like, he kind of got famous for the Man Show, and that was, like, had to be at least 20 years ago when cable was not even... I guess cable hasn't really been big. It was only big probably for, like, 10 years, but it wasn't, like... Because I think he was on...
10 years? Dude, cable's been big since the 90s.
No, I mean, like... big as in it was the main thing, and then I feel kind of like the mid-2000s, like...
Oh, you mean when it switched away from, like
right.
Public broadcasting? Yeah, I get you.
But what I mean is, like, so he was on, I think, Comedy Central when it was not at all a big deal to be on Comedy Central.
That was Spike TV that he was on.
Was it Spike? But either way, he's on one of those, and he was probably getting the same thing, like, you're on Spike, no one's taking you seriously, and then he's doing that to the gamer thing,
Yeah. It's kind of a tactic to fight against change, so that they don't have to change what they're doing and keep making money instead of having to figure out how do I approach this new market. Because I guess that's the other thing is that people on the internet are broke as shit. So
that's true too, man.
Yeah.
I know. I was thinking about it the other day. Like, I used to pirate way more than I do now.
Right.
And now if I do pirate, it's usually like a movie, and then I'll end up going to see it in the theater anyways.
Yeah, I mean,
kind of weird. I mean, allegedly.
Yeah, you allegedly pirate things. Yeah. Speaking of movie theaters, Star Wars, man. Fucking Star Wars.
I thought about that too. I was like, get ready for a lot of Luke, I am your father crap.
Dude, I've been getting that for 26 years.
But it's going to get worse come December, like even worse.
Maybe. A lot of people... no, I don't think it's going to get worse. I think it's just going to stay the same. I don't think there'll be an uptick in it. But speaking of Luke, actually, did you notice the very distinct absence of him from the trailer?
Well, was it really, or were they... I thought he was that dude who put the robot hand on R2.
He is.
Right, so he was in it then, right?
Right. Well, he was in it, but you had to really know what you were looking at.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they're doing that on purpose for a reason. Like,
well, I'm kind of interested to see if maybe Luke is leading the new, basically, Sith, pretty much.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So you think that... Because they also don't really show who the dude with the weird three-pronged...
That's Kylo Ren. That's not Luke.
Oh,
for sure.
Well, maybe I'm not paying close enough attention.
Well, if you just looked up the cast list, like also when he's fighting the black kid named Finn, you can tell from his hair that that's definitely not Luke Skywalker.
Oh, okay.
Because he's got big flowy raven lock hair, not gray hair. So.
Huh. So, yeah, I didn't think about this. So they're keeping his position under wraps then, huh?
Absolutely, yeah. They're not speaking anything as to what Luke will actually be doing.
But in theory, couldn't you already know what happened, like, if you were one of those people who really read all the, like, other extra stuff?
Nope, because they've actually said, when Disney bought LucasArts, they specifically said all 6 films are canon, everything else is not. So the previously written extended universe could be completely thrown out.
Right, I gotcha. Interesting.
So there's a lot of speculation about what might happen, but all I know is that I got goosebumps, and I'm really excited for the first time when there's going to be a Star Wars that has a huge production budget and doesn't have fucking George Lucas's writing.
There is. I've never found a HD copy version of it, and I wish I could remember what it's called. But somebody edited together like the 3 other ones, like episode. What would it be? 1, 2, and 3. and took out like they essentially took 3 movies and made it like an hour and a half or 2 hour movie. And it's actually a lot better. Like Jar Jar's not in it at all. Like they skip a lot of stuff that is like kind of cool visually, but it wasn't really didn't need to be there. It's almost like they do Anakin's beginning, but like for example, like they don't put that speeder stuff in there at all. I mean that's cool, but it doesn't really need to be there. And then I remember they do some stuff with Padawan, or not Padawan, Padme. Yeah, just to like kind of show why he turns evil, you know. And then they obviously do a lot of this stuff with like the story as far as like the rise of the Empire.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's actually better. I mean, I can only find it in like crappy like 420p or whatever, but I watched the whole thing once.
Gotcha. Speaking of modified Star Wars, actually, there's a new website or not website, but it's a YouTube group that I stumbled across called Arl Knights, and they do parodies of stuff. And they actually did a parody of Episode 4 specifically called Laser Moon, and it is the first time I have almost blacked out from laughing so hard. Like literally, it was kind of weird because I was laughing and I threw my head back, but apparently I threw my head back so hard that like the blood drained from my brain. So I was like, whoa, and almost blacked out in my chair. But it is so goddamn funny.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine trying to explain that at work? Luke, what happened? Why you got a black eye? Oh, I passed out laughing. And
look, people at work know me. They would not be surprised if that happened.
But I would. I'd be like, you passed out? I'd be like, you gotta exercise or something. Like, this is not a good sign. Like, just do like 10 push-ups every other day and some sit-ups or something. Like,
I got so winded, man, from laughing that I just passed out.
Yeah.
No, it was specifically the motion of whipping my head back that made me kind of lightheaded. It was weird.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
But so that's got me really excited. And then other new releases coming down the road. I know you're not much of a gamer, but November is going to be a good month for games with the new StarCraft expansion coming out. And actually, the same day as the StarCraft expansion, Fallout 4 comes out.
I did already...
it's called pre-ordering.
I was trying to... Well, I got a gift card. That's what it was. I got a gift card for my birthday, so I got Fallout already when it comes out. Those are 2 games, though, I would play, but, like, the weird thing is, dude, I got, like... So I am a little bit of a gamer, you know, but then, like, dude, I have stuff I haven't even played. Like, last Christmas, I got, whatever that Lord of the Rings game is, where you're, like...
Oh, Shadows of Mordor?
There you go. I haven't even played it. Like, it's still in the freaking, container, or whatever... game box, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
I kind of do the same thing sometimes, but that's typically with like Steam sales, because Steam sales will be like, get 300 games for $99. Hey, I might play 4 of these. Buy it,
dude. I bet you, like, I finally identified that I was doing it, but I used to do that with Humble bundles all the time, or the indie bundles, which I forget. I think I got both, but like. So I got essentially like a lot of the old Batman games, like the Arkham City and that type of stuff, and I got like all the freaking old Mortal Kombat games on Steam and 2. Like I haven't played any of them, but I identified. I'm like, I'm not buying this anymore. I got like hundreds of hours of games to play that I never. You know what I mean? If I bought 0 games now, I'd probably. If I played them all the way through, it'd be like 40 by the time I was done. So, but then I'm like, oh shoot, new Fallout? Yes, please.
Yeah, the game that has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of story play within itself. Yeah, sure, I'll play that.
Yeah, no, that's really... So I played back in the day. This is probably completely pointless to people listening, but so I played the like original Warcraft game.
Orcs and humans.
Right. And then I played like 1, 2, and 3. And then I kind of got out of it for a while. And then I believe it was Elder Scrolls 3 came out. And then
so that'd be Morrowind?
Yeah. And then That
Or no,
was
three was Oblivion because Skyrim is 4. Sorry, go ahead.
well, it was 2, I guess. It was Morrowind. I
Okay.
couldn't remember the name, but it was Morrowind. And like that was, I don't know, that was like what kind of sent me back on it. And I was like, oh shit. But then I was like, god damn, I need to quit wasting money on this. Not waste, but spending money. Because a lot of time, I'll buy something brand new, and then by the time I get to it, I could buy it for like $10. So I'm like, why don't I just start waiting, and make money, or not
Right.
make money, save money.
The problem with that, though, is that you're going to end up waiting, and then you'll just be like, oh, there's a new one coming out soon by the time it hits $10.
Yeah, I know.
So then you'll just never end up buying it.
I'd say that really the only games I've kind of really kept up on and played, like them and the expansion they came out in the past few years, have been the Borderlands games.
I have all the Borderlands games, 1 and 2, and the prequel, or the pre-sequel. I guess 1.5, whatever. I played the shit out of Borderlands 1. Just played the crap out of it. I have never beaten 2 or the prequel. I kind of felt like they were trying too hard.
I like the second one, and then I have played some of the prequel one, but I have not beaten. I think I'm about halfway through or something. But also that's because I play with my brother. We play over Steam. We don't
Gotcha.
always have same free time off, so
Yeah, I get you.
it's like trying to coordinate these podcasts. But honestly, like, you're the only one who's like, oh, if I don't have work, yeah, I'm in. That was one thing too that, like, Devin will never hear this, so I'll just talk shit about him. He's in the email, he was like, oh, whenever, dude. And like the past 3 times I tried to like set it up, he's like, oh, I can't. It's this or that. Like, I understand the one I tried to do in November because he said it's his wife's birthday. That's different, But like tonight, he said he's going to like Action Bronson, some like super fat white rapper guy.
He's actually got some pretty good lyrics. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, he's better than the average rapper out there nowadays.
You think so?
Yeah.
Because I went in without prejudgment. I was like, I'm just gonna type it into YouTube, and whatever like the most popular one's probably gonna come first. I'll just click on it. I don't even remember what it was, but I did not think it was that good. I didn't think it was terrible, but I did not think it was
Right, but that's
good.
the problem, is you didn't think it was terrible. Rap nowadays is pretty goddamn awful. The
That's
only
true.
people that are doing, like, actually trying to save it are, like, Childish Gambino and Kendrick Lamar. And obviously Eminem is extremely talented, and occasionally people like Ludacris or Common release stuff, but a lot of the people on the top of it are just fucking terrible. Like, Fetty Wap is a sin against hip-hop.
I never even heard of that person.
Fetty Wap, he's got like the top 3 singles in the country right now. But he always says 1738.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, that guy with Trap Queen, or the thing he did with Grammy Boys. That's just it's so catchy, but it's so bad. It is just terrible from a rap standpoint.
Oh yeah, but I will give like if you pretty much admit you're like total pop, I'll at least give you a pass. Like, even if you're kind of rap, but you like also kind of admit it, I'll be like, all right, as long as you just admit it's like pop music,
Yeah.
But like when they make pop music and then they try and act like it's not, I'm like, all right, I'm done here. But you just chose words that you knew were catchy and people would say drunk, and then put out a song, and there you go.
Like Chainsmokers, let me take a selfie.
Oh God. What that made me think too, whatever that one like fucking Neo song was about taking pictures on your cell phone.
I'll take a dirty picture with Kesha.
No, it was some was it Let Me Send You a Picture?
I have no idea.
Either way, it was exactly what you're talking about. Like, it was catchy, but I was like, this is terrible though. Like,
yeah, like it gets stuck in your head, but then you just start hating yourself for letting it get there in the first place.
Yeah. Dude, I'll say too, honestly, I think a lot of Katy Perry songs are that way. Like, whatever the weird chorus is, like, you remember it, but it's not like it's a good song.
Well, Katy Perry has the added benefit of she's hot as fuck.
That's true.
So, that never hurts. Being very attractive and being a singer usually helps your case.
That's true.
It is very rare circumstances where, actually, I don't even know if it ever has hurt a singer particularly. Yeah,
it's only hurt like them, like, how do I say this? Like, it's not actually hurting them, but they think it is. Like I remember one time reading some interview, I think it was Christina Aguilera, how she wanted to be like taken more serious or something. And I was like, how about you stop getting like 3/4 naked in all your videos then? You know what I mean? Like,
speaking of crazy singers, did you want to know why you haven't heard anything from Kesha in a while? I just found this out recently. It's kind of crazy.
you banged her to death with your giant penis.
I hope that I would have known about that longer than just a little while ago. Wait, did what?
I assume she died later from internal bleeding.
No,
not instantly. She survived at least the interaction and then died later.
Jesus Christ. It's like putting a rolling pin inside your vagina. Speaking of terrible deaths relating to a vagina, did you guys read about what that Miami guy did?
Yeah.
Holy shit, disemboweled his girlfriend through her vagina? Like, that is the worst. That is just a terrible thing. Oh my god, that's just so much force that had to be exerted.
Oh, and not like it's not impressive either way, but I want to know if he was like, I don't know, like Ray, what's his name from the Baltimore Ravens?
Oh, you mean Ray Rice?
No.
Ray Lewis?
Yeah, I want to know if he's like Ray Lewis and then she's a tiny Asian girl. Like, it would still be...
She was like 5'2" and he was 6'3".
That's what I'm saying. So,
yeah.
I mean, that's still impressive, but it's not like she's 5'10" and you're 5'10". You know what I mean?
Well, like no, I mean, it's not the strength factor. It's how did he get his hand that far in there?
Oh, I just meant more like if you were the same size.
And he had to go through like tissue inside and everything, because those systems are not connected naturally. Those are, oh god, he had to go through muscles. Like, that's just fucking terrifying.
I know. It is. Can you imagine? Like,
no, I can, but I want to stop.
No, I'd say, can you imagine, like, that dude will probably actually be perfectly fine in prison. They'd be like, nope, that dude definitely don't need weapons. Like, he's already proven, like...
Yeah, I'm not gonna fuck with that guy right there.
He don't need a sharpened toothbrush or one made out of toilet paper and soap, you know? He does not need a shank. He'll just he'll Mortal Kombat you. Was that Scorpion that ripped out your skeleton?
Yeah,
no.
Yeah, Sub-Zero would rip you in half by your spine. Or rip out your spine, yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh. God damn. I was going to say something else that was not as gruesome, but now I've completely forgotten it.
I don't know. You were talking about Kesha for some reason.
Oh, right. So Kesha actually has brought legal charges against her producer for sexual abuse. Basically, apparently, she's alleging that he raped her. And then her producer has now countersued her for defamation. And so now it's locked in a legal battle, but she's under contract, so she can't go make any music anywhere else. The only person she can work with and make music is the person that she's alleging raped her.
I see.
How fucked up is that? Like, that situation is awful.
Yeah, but for you and me, it's good. We don't have to hear any more Kesha songs.
I actually don't mind Kesha. She's surprisingly intelligent compared to what... She does music specifically just to make money. If you watch any of her interviews, she's actually pretty intelligent.
Is she?
Yeah, she's just kind of weird is all.
I'm fine with that if she's weird. I was watching I was watching a clip, and I want to get it. It's called Gonzo. It's about Hunter S. Thompson. And apparently there was some politician back in the day, like, he was feuding with. And, like, there's a clip of him on, like, a... like some talk show, and he wrote about it, and they're like, well, there was a rumor out that such and such did Ibogaine and you wrote about it. What can you tell us about that? He was like, yeah, I wrote about it. He's like, it's not true though. And he was like, and they're like, well, how do you know that? He was like, oh, I made it up.
Oh, Jesus.
Like, he just made, I guess too, like, fucked it. Like, this dude just, it ruined his like political career too. He just made it up that he was doing some weird freaky jugs from like the Amazon jungle. But I haven't watched it yet.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's crazy how fast incorrect information spreads nowadays. So that people believe the craziest shit, and it not be anywhere near true, but it just ruins somebody's life because of it.
Oh yeah. Well, it kind of similar related to that, the Cecil the Lion thing. So like after that all happened, there was like a rumor that his brother got killed too. Like, I don't know what his brother's name was, Philippe the Lion or some shit or whatever, you know?
Felipe.
Yeah. And then they found out, oh no, it wasn't, it was just some other lion. They're like, oh, and then like it all calmed down again. I was like, wait a minute. So just because we give some stupid lion like a name, like, oh, it's terrible that he got shot. Because apparently, I want to say it was like Vice or somebody went down there and interviewed like a lot of the local people or whatever. And like they knew who the lion was, but it's not like he wasn't like a hero. Like they're terrified of lions there. Like they weren't all...
Well, people are terrified of lions. At least they should be everywhere. Lions are some scary shit.
Oh yeah, but I mean like they're trying to portray it like it was some type of special lion that like they all looked after or whatever. And like the interview, I think Vice did, it made it seem more like, no, we'd shoot that fucking lion in the face if we had to, very easily.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know.
Really.
It was weird. Like, it went so far. I mean, that guy's life got fucking ruined.
Yeah.
He had to close his dentistry. I mean, there should be punishment for poaching. I don't know if he knew, like, I never got the details of that, if he knew what lion that was or if it had been lured off of a game preserve or not. Mm-hmm. But even if it had, his, like, the amount of fucking internet justice that happened was crazy. I mean, if he loses his business because he's unpopular in public eye, that's fine. But if he has to close his business because his building is being insanely vandalized and he's receiving death threats because he killed a fucking lion halfway across the world, people are out of their fucking mind and have lost touch with this world. Like, it doesn't make any sense why you'd be so upset that he shot a goddamn lion. Who cares? How does that affect you?
Yeah. Oh, I think too is like, it's like if you cared so much too, like, there's got to be wildlife foundations that you could donate money to. That would
go volunteer over there. I did that.
Yeah.
I spent 2 months trying to working with the foundation, the Vervet Monkey Foundation in South Africa, to rehabilitate the population of vervet monkeys. I actually did shit. I was doing nature conservancy, and I don't give a fuck that lion got shot.
Did you say vervet monkeys?
Vervet, Vervet.
I have not heard of those.
Yeah, they had been placed on the vermin list along with mice and rats in South Africa, and so their population had been reduced from troops of 120 down to families of like 5 or 10. So this foundation was started, I think, back in like 2009, and worked to get them off of the vermin list, and they actually succeeded. And they have a large space now where they have multiple enclosures where they're trying to actually regrow some troops. And like what they were doing was awful. The official stance of how to get rid of baby vervet monkeys that have been turned in by the Department of Nature Conservancy was to take them out back in a sack and beat it with a shovel until it stopped moving.
Oh, I don't know why I'm laughing at that so hard.
It's because you're a terrible person, Hunter. Don't act surprised.
Well, what you do is you take it out back and you old yeller the shit out of it.
Exactly. Just be like, but just put it out of its goddamn misery. It was pretty fucked up.
Damn, these monkeys look kind of vicious. They look kind of like tiny baboons.
No, they actually are. They are actually kind of scary. I mean, they're primates, so they do have some aggression issues, but they have about 2-inch fangs.
Looks like all of the males have blue-colored balls as well.
They do, but they also like to masturbate a lot. It's weird. It's only weird when you don't know what you're getting into and a monkey just starts suddenly jacking off in front of you.
That must have been great to like a 17-year-old Luke.
I was 18 and no, it wasn't. It's not great to any Luke.
I know. You know what I mean, though.
I get you.
I guess that's a good thing about doing it this way. Like, you could say something. I could just Google it. Oh, that's what they look like.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of being like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Anyway, moving on. So, actually, we could probably, I could give you the link to this this Laser Moon thing. Because, again, Laser Moon, go watch it. It's fucking hilarious. These guys are comedic geniuses.
And then when you're watching it, put in the comments, hey, I heard about this on the Moose Knuckle podcast. And then you could put a link to our stuff there, and we can just let the hate flow over us. or nobody will see the 3 comments maybe that will happen from this, and nothing will happen. That's true. That's much, much more likely. Oh, dang, look at that. Link from Luke.
I sent you a Skype message. It's like we're in the future.
It is. So we got like a little less than 10 minutes left. And I don't really, you did bring up talking about Donald Trump.
Yeah, fuck that guy. I've actually got something more interesting to talk about because he's an asshole and I hope he dies. And the fact that...
Go ahead. Go ahead.
The fact that he has a legitimate shot at being a president just shows you how much of a joke this entire country is now. Whether or not you're Republican or Democrat or left-wing or right-wing, but the fact that somebody who's famous simply because he's rich has a very good chance of winning the presidency, that's super fucked up. How? That's like Kim Kardashian being a possible chance of being president.
Yeah.
There is very little difference between Kim Kardashian and Donald Trump, except Donald Trump's just been angrier, whiter, and richer for longer.
Oh, I was thinking more like you'd have sex with one but not the other.
I don't know if I'd have sex with Donald Trump.
Dang it, you took the joke from me before I could do it.
But no, speaking of the future, I mean, 2 days ago was Back to the Future Day. We are now past October 21st, 2015. And we still don't really have hoverboards.
They're working on it, though.
I know they're working on it, and there are some designs. But actually, what was kind of cool was on that day, Nike released their self-tying shoes, like the ones from the movies.
I know. I didn't see it. I read though that
Michael J. Fox got the first pair.
Yeah, he was on Jimmy Kimmel wearing them or something.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool though that they did that.
Yeah, I mean, it's really weird that movie has had so much impact all of a sudden. And it was kind of weird that the Cubs were in the semifinals of the World Series, actually, too.
What, in Back to the Future?
No, in Back to the Future, they won the World Series. But in reality, they were in the semifinals they got crushed. They got embarrassed by the Mets. There's no other way to put this. They got completely embarrassed. But it was still, they were close. It was pretty crazy.
But, no, I was just saying, maybe we could just end this one here before we get to the serious Donald Trump type talk. It doesn't really fit in with this one, I guess, suck it, Trump. Because there was something I wanted there was a couple of things that were kind of political related that I want to talk about. But, I don't think it really fits in with this episode, so I thought we could just end it 5 minutes early and then start up again.
All right.
Okay. So, what the hell's our website?
MooseKnucklePodcast.wordpress.com.
That sounds right.
Woo! If it's not, sorry. I mean, fuck. You wouldn't have been able to listen to this if you were able to find the website, so it doesn't fucking matter.
That's kind of true. But either way, you could just Google it now. It pretty much comes up as the first thing.
Are we the top thing under Moose Knuckle, or is it Moose Knuckle Podcast?
If you type in Moose Knuckle Podcast, it should come up. Luke sounds like he's testing it right now.
Moose Knuckle. But we are pretty far down there.
What if you type in podcast after it?
Heyo, Moose Knuckle Podcast at WordPress.com.
There you go. So that
Your
has
favorite
link.
itch to scratch.
That's right. That was my stupid saying I came up with when we started this, and then never used it really.
Wait, you did an episode all by yourself?
Yeah.
That is... how did that go?
It was kind of weird, cause for some reason I kept running out of breath. Like I had to keep pausing and catching my breath. It was only like 20 minutes too, because it's not the same. Like you think, oh, I'll probably get like, because I write down a topic, then it gets us like 10 or 15. But when you only have your own ideas, you only have like the 5 minutes worth of ideas that you are doing. You know what I mean? And you figure out, oh, something will come to me. No, it doesn't. But anyways, go to that website, and yep, that's about it. Got anything, Luke?
No, that's it. Everyone, stay beautiful.